What's up, gang? Happy Friday. Brian here. And I hope we're going into a productive weekend for you. Listen, Friday rate update. So, you know what that means. We're going to do a quick rate review on what's going on in the past. Well, typically we do the past 30 days, but what I want to do is put a little perspective for us on what's going on with mortgage rates. As you may have seen in previous videos, right, we talked about all the reasons why we've seen rates move up. And quickly to summarize that is this: Wall Street just does not believe that aggressive rate cut will be coming from the Fed that they initially thought was going to be coming. You go back a couple of months, the Wall Street was thinking, hey, this might be the point where we start seeing some aggressive rate cuts coming up in the near future. That is now reversed, and we're looking at something much more tame. So, what I want to do in perspective here is if you look at the far right, rates right now are at 6.91% on average, according to Mortgage News Daily. And if you look back, you can see at the referenced 7.52, just right in between April and May, that was our high point for this year. That's where rates peaked. And then our low point was 6.11. So we're dead smack in the middle of that spread, if you will, between the high and our low. So we're not at the worst point where we were this year, but we're obviously not at the best. And this happened last year when there was this huge expectation of how we were going to see 7 rate cuts this year, going back, back to going December, January, if you will. All that changed, and then we saw rates. And I go back to February. This is when I really started tracking it. You can see where the rate jumped up just over 7% back in February because the narrative changed. And the same thing is happening right now. Is the narrative changed from what it was that was pushing rates back down. Now we're back to kind of a neutral. I don't want to call it a neutral rate. When we're talking to our clients and we're telling them about what's going on, yes, it's uncomfortable that rates moved up and that they didn't stay at their 1.5, 2, almost 2-year low, if you will. I should say a 2-year low because we were in the fives at some point, but it was at least a 1-year low where we were. And it's uncomfortable when the rates move up. But as I've been trying to share this message that this is the perfect time for anybody looking to buy a house and wants to be able to save money and not have to get a 7% interest rate, guys, I'm having so many conversations with many of you about negotiating seller credit, that credit that's going to give a temporary buy down or maybe pay for a closing cost or both, or even a permanent buy down. Whatever that situation is, we're able to get this. This is a buyer's market. So rate is not everything. I'm telling everybody that rate is not everything. Let me tell you what I mean. And then we start diving into seller credit and what that means and how that gets them better terms. So that way they don't have to live with that 7% interest rate. There's so many people who are not even approaching buying a home because they're afraid of what rates are right now. And they don't understand that there is a winning formula in this market right now today that can get them in a new home. So if you guys have any questions, if there's any way that me and my team can help out, please reach out to me. You've got my phone number. If I don't hear from you guys, have a wonderful weekend. I'll talk to you next week.